Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to MaxSpeedTV. As tonight we are at Myrtle Beach Speedway as the Racing for a Cause Hershy Design Pro Series presents the North Carolina Troopers Association 125. My name is KR Stolfus, and I do have a very special guest out here tonight with me, and that is Chris Lague. How you doing out there, Chris?
Well, I'm doing great, KR, and I want to thank you once again for inviting me up here tonight. Obviously, my leagues have wrapped up for the year, and I was looking for something to do. You were kind enough to invite me up.
I'm pretty sure you just said, "Hey, KR, can I join you tonight?" And I was like, "Please."
Yeah,
Just
something like that too.
Getting to work with the caliber of an entertainer that you are, Chris, is an absolute pleasure here. It'll be a great night tonight.
We're both full of something. We're gonna figure it out before the end of the night.
I think it rhymes with bull and ends in spit.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, we got a great race out here tonight. 125 laps at Myrtle Beach. It's going to be a great time. But more importantly, this is racing for a cause. There is typically a cause associated with each and every race that is out there. So tonight's cause, I'll tell you what it is. It's the North Carolina Troopers Association 125. And here to talk about that right now is none other than Tyler Hilton. Mr. Hilton, how you doing tonight?
Pretty good. How about you, Chris and KR?
Not too bad, not too bad. So tell us first of all a little bit about what this race is about, what it means, and what's all we can expect.
Yeah, the North Carolina Troopers Association basically is troopers helping troopers. It's the families of troopers, the friends of troopers gathering together. They pretty much have a membership out there, help the families of troopers that need support, the families of fallen officers and troopers and throughout the state. So it's a great organization. They plan many events throughout the year. Definitely a good way to bring the community together. Back the blue line and go from there with it. So it's a great cause, and thanks to Rick Hammond tonight. He actually helped me get this race up and going tonight with that sponsorship, and couldn't have done it without him.
Well, Tyler, you're a normal here in this series. Tonight, though, you won't be able to make the race. However, this is a very important cause for you, and we appreciate you coming in here and sharing the word and spreading it. Where could people go to find more information?
Yeah, definitely. They can go to nctroopers.org. That is the website for the Troopers Association. On there, it talks a lot more about the cause, what they do, how they support the troopers. It talks on there about the fallen officers. Obviously, we've had two this year, Trooper Connor and Trooper Bullard, unfortunately. And they've got special stuff out there that you can get that goes directly to the families of those two fallen troopers. So it's a great organization. Like I say, nctroopers.org. Definitely check it out. It's worth it.
Well, Tyler, we appreciate it as always, man. And we're going to miss you out here on track tonight. A fierce competitor. As always, I am thoroughly enjoyed racing with you and calling races that you're in, but not so tonight. So how can I dig at you a little bit more for not being out here?
Well, definitely getting ready for the Vapor Trail Truck Series next season. Looking definitely forward to that. And I'll be in a couple of these events a little bit later down the year, so definitely excited about that. And just wrapped up the IndyCar season with you, and that was fun. Congratulations on your championship there, KR. Definitely well deserved. But yeah, it's good times ahead. So we're focused in, and we're getting ready for that Truck Series, and can't wait to get back on track.
Same here. Well, before we let you go, Chris, do you got anything you'd like to add?
I would just like to thank Tyler for his service out there. You know, it's tough out there, and obviously with some things going on. Thank you very much, Tyler, and thanks for being here tonight with us. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Chris. And again, this race tonight, it's for the boys in blue. So be a good show, and can't wait to watch it.
All right, that is Tyler Hilton, as once again taking the time to talk to us, Tyler. We greatly appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you next time out on track.
Sounds good. Catch you guys later.
All right, guys. That is a great pre-race interview. As always, this is Racing for a Cause. There is a cause associated typically with the race name and all the drivers sporting a logo of some cause of some sort on their cars. And it's always been very interesting. A lot of drivers pick some like charity type stuff, but not necessarily, just anything that's near and dear to your heart that you want to talk about. Put it on your car for this league.
And KR, that's one of the wonderful things about this league. I happen to know this league very well, as you know, and it's wonderful to see all those awesome causes out there. I do want to wish car number 18, KR. It's a day for him. That's AJ Hamill in the car number 18. Happy birthday, AJ Hamill.
AJ Hamill in the 18 car? You mean the, what was his name? The Green Mountain Madman?
The Green Mountain Madman, yes, sir.
How old is he? 287?
Well, that was last year. Today, he's 292.
Oh, man. Well, we hope he can pull off a victory. That'd be a very sweet birthday present. Although it seems like getting a victory here in this league in these K&N cars is proving quite difficult. As we're looking at our points right now, not only is it difficult to get a win in the series, but it looks like it's difficult to take the lead in this point standings, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely, KR. You've got Will DeVicki and Ryan Nolan tied for first place. Rex Hoyle moved up 2 spots after last week's finish in third. Justin McDuff moved up a spot into 4th. And Chris Stump, he's 5th in points right now. He's fallen 3 spots due to not being in the race last week. That means it's very tight. You miss a race, you'll lose spots.
Yeah, missing a race is going to be very, very costly here. Another thing that's going to be costly here is if you are not able to qualify well tonight. This is a short track race. As we look at our top 10 on the speed charts right now, Chris Stump, Ryan Nolan, Justin Rigsby, Will Dravicki, and AJ Hamill topping our top 5 here in the speed charts for practice time with just about a minute and a half left. Real quick, guys, coming up next will be qualifying for tonight's race. That will be a single car event. We'll try and bring you all the drivers, but it's going to be hard to get everybody. However, don't forget, tomorrow night, Thursday, December 20th at 7:40 p.m. Central, the Coach's Corner Pro Late Model Series will be broadcasted live right here on MaxSpeedTV for the Coach's Corner 100 at Lucas Oil Raceway. And then next race for the RFC Hershy Design Pro Series will be January 2nd, and that will fire off at 8:15 p.m. Central for the Hilton Crafts and Design 75 at Rockingham. And I'll tell you, that race, when I saw that one hit the schedule, that was the one I really circled. I'm looking forward to that race.
Yeah, the Rock is always fun, and to have these pro late models out there, man, that is going to be a one race. Do not miss that race, everybody. Mark it on your calendars, January 2nd. That's going to be one to watch.
Heck yeah, it is. Final 20 seconds of practice here before we kick off into qualifying. And Chris, we've been watching these guys practice. What have you seen so far?
Well, I've seen a couple of things, KR. First of all, the cars are very tight. If you don't hit the corners just right, you're going to come out, you're going to smack that right front against the wall, and you definitely don't want to do that. The other thing to watch out for here at Myrtle Beach, those rumble strips that divide the raceway and the apron. You hit one of those, you're going to lose control of the car. There's no way around it, and we saw it several times here during the practice session.
We did see a couple guys hit those rumble strips. Some of them call them like turtle shells or turtles or whatever they call them. But once you get into them, you're into them hardcore, and it's not fun.
The other thing to watch for here tonight is pit road entrance is in a little bit of a different spot here. It's before turn 3, so something else to watch out for. Now,
these guys will not be allowed to take tires until at least the halfway mark And that will be somewhere around lap 63 when they will be throwing a competition caution. Then you will be allowed to take tires. I promise you, everyone who hits pit road will be taking tires. Some guys, though, will be going after track position. Expect a few drivers deep in the field to try that. Right now, we're watching Al Smith in his qualifying lap. He, right now, is the only one who's turned in a time, and he is sitting on the top spot. Dylan Blankenship right behind him in second in the 51 machine. Chris, who are you watching for qualifying?
Well, right now I've got my eye on Steve Baker. I was kind of watching him through the whole practice. He didn't like his first lap. He reset himself. He's coming back out on track. The 55 may be one to watch tonight.
Steve Baker, very talented driver, looking for his first win this season. We'll see if he can get it. Right now, Rex Hoyle sitting in second, but the man on top of the charts now is none other than the 70 machine of Andy Lambert.
A really good qualifying effort from Andy Lambert, who week after week, he's here with the guys trying to get it done. So it's really good to see that 70 out on top.
Sure is. Ryan Nolan in the 87 machine, though. He is looking to take that top spot. Steve Baker does pit Andy Lambert, and now Ryan Nolan crossing the line on his second lap, and Nolan is not going to go any faster, but we do have a new pole sitter, and that is the 98 of Chris Stump.
Yeah, Chris Stump, just about every single time you see him behind the wheel, he's fast. Every track I've raced against him several times here in the sim, and it's amazing. It's a different level, and definitely a level I'm not on, so it's fun to watch him for sure.
New driver out here that we want to talk about real quick, that is Matthew Spinks, as he disappears as I was just trying to talk about him. We'll move on to somebody else. Justin Rigsby in the 99. He is laying down his qualifying lap on the clock here. That black and green machine looking very stout, very fast here.
It'll be very interesting tonight as the sun starts really going down to see if there's any track changes going on, KR. I believe it may just tighten up a little bit more than it is right now. So definitely going to be something as we go on in these laps, and we'll know better about halfway through, like you said, around that lap 63 mark, just what these guys are thinking as far as getting through to the rest of the laps done.
All right, guys, well, it's that time again. We're going to step away, play our national anthem, and we'll be right back to take you through our starting lineup.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the field is starting to form up, and it is time to go through our MaxSpeedTV starting lineup. Row number 1, the 98, Chris Stump with a race win this season. Will Dravicki on his outside, another winner. Each of these guys looking for win number 2 this season. Row 2 is going to go to the 55 of Steve Baker and Andy Lambert on his outside. Row 3 will be the 87 of Ryan Nolan and the 50 of Rex Hoyle. Row 4 will be the 99 of Justin Rigsby and the 35, a newcomer here, Matthew Spinks. Row 5 is going to be the 18 of A.J. Hamill and the 96 of Al Smith Jr.
Yeah, next up, KR is starting in 11th. The 51 car of Dylan Blankenship, starting 12th in the 22. It's Mike Holtzclaw. Starting 13th in the 39 car, Chad Collier. And 14th, we got Doug Wasaki, starting 14th here in the 45. The 00 of Timothy Hale, starting 15th. James McIntyre in the 81, starting 16th. We've got Hilton Young in the 38. He's going to be starting 17th tonight. Wayne McDuff, starting in 18th. Got James Edwards in the 3 car. He's going to be starting 19th. Paul Henley starting in 20th. And that's shotgun, KR.
That is shotgun. And typically, the previous race winner starts at the back of the grid. But, Chris, we're missing Troy Radford tonight.
Yeah, that's right. With special thoughts and prayers going out to the Radford family. There was a loss in the family. Troy had to go down to Florida. He's not going to be able to join us tonight. So definitely our thoughts are with him as we do this race. And Troy, we are thinking about you.
Highlights have gone out on the pace car. That can only mean one thing and one thing only. We got one more lap till green. 125 laps here tonight as we look at our race analysis. 67.5 miles will be our race distance. Our tire window right around 63 laps, as there will be a competition caution tonight at the halfway point for tires. Beautiful night for a race. Chris, take us to green.
All right. Well, pace car is in, and we are under green flag. Chris Stump on the inside, and he's got the 30 car on the outside. Stump on the inside with a slight advantage, of course. That is the preferred line. Watch out for those rumble strips. Already got somebody. Ryan Nolan getting into it a little bit. Stump lost the lead. The 30 car is on the outside and has the momentum. 98 of Stump gonna have to go up and kind of defend his lane against the 55. That's Steve Baker.
Ryan Nolan, who started up front, hit those rumble strips, got airborne, and now he is running all the way back, and we are back under yellow for the first time as Chad Collier in the 39 and the 51 of Dylan Blankenship are going to get into trouble here. Let's back this up. Let's go to our instant replay and see what happened between these two drivers. We saw them going side by side, now 3 wide down the front stretch into turn number 1. Blankenship looks like he's going to try and check up as the 39 tried to go around the corner, but then he got a little help from behind, and an accordion effect just sent both those guys around as they do synchronized rotations and get back on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, a little short track racing there. His car had to check up and just not enough time to react quick enough here on this little half-mile track.
And an early exit. I'm not sure if this is a permanent thing or what, but the 87 of Ryan Nolan has pushed it behind the wall for the moment. So our points leader, or tied with the points, Ryan Nolan, behind the wall right now. That is some big news, as Will Dravicki also was tied with him. He is out front leading this thing.
Yeah, if Ryan Nolan is done for the night, I'm going to blame it on those rumble strips. He hit him hard, KR, and you saw the front end of the car jump hard, and that could have affected the handling on that 87. And Ryan's a good enough driver where he knows if the car is damaged too bad to drive it, you may as well hop out. But that'll be a big points hit tonight.
Yeah, huge points hit. However, good news is he did take the green flag. He did turn several laps. We know he was here tonight, so he will be scored points for that. We did start 20 cars out here tonight, and we are already down 1 car as the lights are going out on the pace car. This field is getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Row number 1 for this restart will be Will Dravicki and Chris Stump, and then row 2 will be Steve Baker in the 55 and Andy Lambert in the 70. And man, I'll tell you, Andy Lambert's got that breath of fresh air. I want to see this guy lead a lap.
Yeah, I'd love to see Andy up front. And nobody out there tries harder than him, race after race after race.
Green flag is out. Will Dravicki clearing easily the 98 of Chris Stump, but here comes the 55 of Steve Baker to the inside of Stump. Put Baker in second place. Down the backstretch, he is going to clear him, and now Stump is really trying to charge back, and he wants that second place back.
That was a great move by Baker to get around Stump. Now the challenge is, how do you get back around Baker? So hard to pass here, and we're under caution again.
We are, and it looks like the 3 of James Edwards is in trouble here. We're going to back this up, go to our MaxSpeedTV replay, and figure out what happened to James. We're watching him. He goes down into 3 and 4 here. Single file with everyone else. 4 of Wayne McDuff right behind him as they dive down into turn 1. Wayne washing up a little bit. Gonna get into the back corner of the 3 machine and just spin him around. You can see here as we zoom in on this one, Wayne just overshoots the corner entry, and unfortunately James Edwards was right there.
Lap 10, KR, lap 10, and I'm getting a little thirsty.
Oh.
I'm getting very thirsty.
Well, I'm not going to say no to a drink for you.
All right, well, I'm in. How about yourself?
Well, I don't know. I'm going to need some convincing.
Well, I'm going to have to go ahead and twist your arm here. It's lap 10. We're on caution 2, 1 car out. It's the 87 of Ryan Nolan, KR. I think it's time.
Sounds good. Beautiful. These are adult sodas, and we're going to enjoy these. You can get them at your local, go visit the concession stand in your local section. Ours were from the refrigerator.
They have to get them where they have to get them. We were lucky enough to have some in the refrigerator.
Yes.
You know what's really cool right now? So you got 10 laps, well, make it 11, make it 12 when he goes past the start-finish line, but 12 laps into this race, the front row just changed. The second row has changed. AJ Hamill's moving up. Andy Lambert moved back a spot. So Lambert's actually going to be starting to the inside. That might not be the worst thing that's happened to him in this race. This is going to get really good, really quick.
That it is. Why don't you take us the rest of the way through this green flag, our second restart of the night.
All right, well, the pace car is in, and they are going through turns 3 and 4 right now. Will Dravicki has control of the field. It's on him, and he decides now is the time. Dravicki takes off. Steve Baker not able to keep up with him going into 1 and 2. Baker still hung out on the outside. Stump trying to stick a nose on there and not able to get there. Steve Baker's going to maintain second spot. The battle right now, KR, looks like it's for 5th place.
There is a huge battle, not just for 5th place, but for position on the track, as these drivers are fighting for every inch. We got 1 car on the outside. I can't quite see who that is, but I believe that was the 99. No, not the 99. I don't know who that is. I can't figure out that paint scheme. I'm too far away. I don't have my glasses on, that's why.
Maybe you're talking about the 35 newcomer, Matthew Spinks.
I was. That's why I didn't recognize the paint scheme. Matthew Spinks in that 35 machine. He said we could call him whatever we wanted, so oh, he's gonna get into the wall.
Ooh, yeah, he got tight, and we talked about that at the beginning of the race. You get tight, and we got caution again. Looks like Dylan Blankenship.
Yep, the 51 on the front stretch here got some heavy damage on the back side of his car there. Let's go ahead and back this replay up a little bit, see what happened to him. That damage already existing on that 51 machine. Following in behind the 96 of Al Smith as they are 2x2 here, fighting through 1 and 2. Down the backstretch they go. The 00 machine of Tim Hale on the outside. Hilton Young in the 38. And just a little bit of contact. Looks like Dylan washed up. He got tight under acceleration, cranked some wheel into it, and made contact with Tim Hale and went on around on the front stretch.
We talked about it at the beginning of the race. This track is tight, and there's your proof right there. As the 51 went around, man, these guys are doing a great job. This is a very short track. It's a very fast track, and throw in the fact that it's tight as nighttime is now coming in, it's going to be really interesting to see what kind of track changes are going to happen, if any at all.
Yeah, the track will almost always pick up speed as it cools off. The sun goes down, tracks cool off, they pick up speed. How it affects the way drivers handle that will be everything to this race. And we're about to find out as the sun has gone into full set here. We're about to find out who is going to be able to handle this track at a cooler temperature. Field working its way down the backstretch here. Once again, Will Dravicki out front. He has led every lap so far tonight. He has led 18 of our 19 completed laps, or I'm sorry, 18 of our 18 completed laps. We're working 19, and now that one's about to be completed. Lights going out on the pace car. Field starting to form up. Will Dravicki gonna pick the high side here. Steve Baker not expecting that. Bold move by Will to pick the high side.
Yeah, that's a very bold move, and the only concession here is that he still has control of the field.
Yeah, here we go, folks. Another restart once again. Front row all lined up. Cars sit, ready to go. Steve Baker gonna try and fight for that inside lane. Green flag is out. We're back underway. Will Dravicki able to clear Baker easily. And here comes the 99 of Justin Rigsby on the outside of Steve Baker. Side by side into turn number 3. Baker right along the bottom. Gotta be very careful through 1 and 2 that he does not hit the turtle shells. That is gonna be a ending mistake if he does for both those cars. However, Steve Baker, a professional driver, pulls it off. And now Justin Rigsby in the 99 slides into second place.
I'm watching 5th place right now. AJ Hamel, Mr. Birthday Boy, he's sitting in 5th, and he's watching a battle just ahead of him. It's Steve Baker and Chris Stump running it out for 3rd place. And it's getting really good out there. Stump right now has 3rd, and he is trying to clear Baker on the inside. He has him by a nose there, KR.
Baker losing some ground on that high side right here. Chris Stump gaining about an inch or 2 every single time they come off the corner, but Baker not giving up the fight just yet.
He was able to fight hard enough to come across the start-finish line. You see him now on the backstretch, though. He did finally lose that position to Chris Stump, and that pushes Baker back to 4th. AJ Hamel is going to look to try and take advantage, though. Now that they've kind of gone nose to tail, it's a little easier to move forward when you see that it's a little less racing going on in front of you. Certainly, you can start moving forward. When they're side by side, you don't know what's going to happen. You want to stay back a little bit, maybe as a racer this early in the race.
It is a little difficult when you're seeing cars in front of you side by side. You have to pick a winner. but when they're really neck and neck, it's hard to pick that winner. And especially if you can't decide where your own car wants to run, that makes it even more difficult. But I'll tell you, as someone who's not having any hardships right now, that's the 30 of Will Dravicki. He is leading this thing, and he is pulling away from the 99 of Justin Rigsby. As we look out the back of this machine, you can see Rigsby there in that black and green machine. And Will Dravicki is just saying, hey, I'm gonna turn some laps here, guys. Keep up if you want.
Yeah, right now that lead is about a second. And I'm looking further back in the field. I'm just taking a look at Al Smith Jr. He's the number 96 car. He is in 10th place. He started in 10th, so no forward momentum, no backwards momentum, but keeping it clean out there because, you know, KR, you cannot win if you don't finish.
No, and Al's been struggling this season and getting some clean races in. Sometimes it makes his own mistakes. Other times he gets caught up in them. But a big struggle for Al, and I hope he can finish one. I like cheering for Al, even though he pretends he's in a Ford. But I like talking with Al.
Well, unfortunately, there is no Ford in the series.
Well, I said think he pretends.
Well, no, I'm saying unfortunately there isn't, because if there was, we know who would win every week. So they throw Chevys at everybody. Luckily, I haven't seen any ball joints out on the track this week, so we should be okay.
Or oil slicks. Yeah. Chevy trucks, they like to go through ball joints. Oh well. So Al Smith looking underneath the 22 of Mike Holtzclaw. Al trying to dive down through turns 3 and 4 here. Holtzclaw gonna give him the bottom. Mike gonna go way up high. Down the straightaway they go, and Al Smith is gonna clear him. So put Al into 9th place and move Mike to 10th. Meanwhile, up front, Chris Stump in the 98 has gotten around the 99 of Justin Rigsby. So those guys sorted themselves numerically finally. But Stump, he is a tough and fierce and very fast driver. He has set his sights on Will Dravicki and closing in on him.
I'm watching the battle right now. I'm going to call it for 4th. You got AJ Hamill sitting, for 5th. AJ Hamill sitting there, and he's got a line behind him. Lambert, Hoyle, Spinks, all sitting there trying to figure out a way around the 18 car of AJ Hamill. So far, not able to do it as they go into turns 1 and 2.
We go on board looking at our driver Spinks, new guy to the track. And this season, as came off the corner, had to counter steer it a little bit. Got a little loose there, but nothing he couldn't handle, it seems. Right now, that driver very focused, very intent on what's going on around him.
I think what he's watching is the 70 car, who put a ton of pressure on the 18, had the inside, not able to complete the pass, was Andy Lambert in the 70 car.
4 cars right there, all nose to tail, diving off into turn number 1 onto the backstretch. It looks like Spink's going to lose a little bit of ground to everybody here. AJ Hamill leading this 4-car train. At 18 machine, though, as we mentioned, it's his birthday. He'd like to win one. Here comes Andy Lambert with a good charge off the corner.
Yeah, Lambert's doing everything he can do to put a little pressure right now on AJ Hamill, looking for that one little mistake. And that's all it takes on a short track. One little mistake. If you can find that opportunity, you take advantage of it, and that's how you gain position. And speaking of one little mistake, a couple of laps ago, you mentioned it, Matthew Spinks, new guy to the league, kind of had to get out of it a little bit. And when he did, he kind of picked up Al Smith. Now both of them are starting to catch the 3 cars ahead.
The 50 Rex Hoyle making a move to the inside here. Hoyle is gonna just move the 70 a little bit up out of his way to put Rex Hoyle into 6th, drop Andy Lambert to 7th. Checking out at the front of the field, James Edwards in the 3. He is going to go a lap down here. Hilton Young in the 38 already been lapped. Those guys 18th and 19th respectively. But Chris Stump is now not closing as fast as he was, but he's still closing in on the 30 of Will Dravicki.
Yeah, the gap in the corner drops down to about 3 car lengths. And Chris Stump definitely starting to put the pressure on, as that gap went from a second just about 7 laps ago down to now 0.283, I suppose.
Going on board with Chris Stump. Go ahead, Chris. You can finish your thought.
Well, I was just going to say, Stump now to the back bumper. And I got to tell you, Will Dravicki, if he's looking in that back mirror, he's got a mirror full of black car. As Stump is really starting to put the pressure on. He started looking on the outside of turns 1 and 2, gets to the outside again of 3 and 4, and starting to make a move.
One thing I see that Stump is doing is he's letting that car roll through the corner here, applies the throttle and lets the throttle turn that thing, and gets a great run down the straightaways by doing that. Onto the front stretch, across the line they go. We're on lap 48 of 125. Been in a long green flag run here. Don't forget, guys, about the halfway mark, somewhere around lap 63, we will see a competition caution. Will Dravicki's just got to hold on for long enough. Dravicki had a whole lot of speed on very fresh tires. In fact, he was one of the faster cars out there. Looks like Chris Stump has a good long run drive going. But when they hit this competition caution, it's going to reset the field. These guys are going to come and take tires, and we might see that 30 try and gap the field once again.
Chad Coyler is the last person to go a lap down, and that is something to keep an eye on. As when the competition yellow does come out, Lucky Dog rules are in effect, KR. So right now he's in position to get a lap back.
Chad Collier in the 39 machine, started 13th, running 17th. Got caught up in one of our earlier cautions. Looks like he's struggling to regain his positions from that. However, he's still out there, still chugging along. That 39 machine looking a little rough for wear on the right side. '99 of Justin Rigsby passing by Collier. Rigsby sitting in 3rd. He was 2nd at one point, but it looks like as this tire cycle is worn on, he has lost some ground and losing a little bit of speed to the top 2 spots. However, he is pulled way far away from Steve Baker. He has almost a 4-second lead over the 55 machine of Steve Baker, who is sitting in 4th. And behind Baker to round out your top 5 is A.J. Hamill, but Hamill is under heavy pressure from the 50 of Rex Hoyle.
Yeah, Hoyle's been on that back bumper now for about 7 laps, KR. And he's trying to figure out a way around him. He just hasn't done it yet. They're running very similar lines around the track, and of course, if you want to pass somebody, you have to kind of expand. You have to figure out a different way, especially on these short tracks. You can't just stay to the bottom.
Yeah, always searching. That is one thing about what makes a good driver from a great driver. They're always searching, looking for that little bit of grip that no one else has found yet, that little extra tenth here and there, maybe a couple extra heartbeats where they got to the throttle that much sooner, and you always have to look for that. Meanwhile, back to the front we go as this battle is getting very close. As this competition caution is nearing, Chris Stump would love nothing more than the chance to pass Will Dravicki, and Stump trying to find a way to do that as he is looking to the inside. He's trying the outside, Stump really got a different line than Will, and Will's trying to take that line away. It looks like for the moment it is working. Stump's gonna try the inside here on 3 and 4. Maybe get a run here as Will's gonna try and get the power down, and Stump does have him on the inside for the moment. Coming off of turn number 2, who's gonna be able to win this drag race into turn number 3? Stump sticking right to that inside lane. I think Stump gets a better exit off of 4 on that inside. And the caution is gonna fly. We got one car around. I believe that's the 3 of James Edwards and the 51 of Dylan Blankenship. Go to our MaxSpeedTV replay here. Figure out what happened between these two drivers. You see the 3 of James Edwards. Following behind the 45 of Doug Wysocki, and he is just gonna lock them down as Dylan Blankenship in the 51 is gonna get crossed up just in front of him. 51 of Blankenship entering turn number 1. Looked like Doug, or I'm sorry, that is the 00 Tim Hale might have got into him. But back under live we go. Pit stops underway. Both our leaders hitting their pit stalls. Both of them in there cleanly. Who's gonna take 4 tires? Who's taking 2? Anyone brave enough to try 2? Race off pit road is going to be won by Dravicki. Chris Stump, Justin Rigsby, AJ Hamill, Rex Hoyle, Al Smith going to pick up a few spots on this caution and pit stop cycle. But your race leader is going to still be the 30 machine. Well, Chris, we've got a pit stop. We got Chad Collier in the 39 going back around.
Yeah, it was pretty good timing for Chad Collier as he was the first car 1 lap down, get his lap back. And it looks like we're going to have, 12 cars, it looks like, going to be on the lead lap after that cycle, KR. I was just looking at some of the pit stops. It looks like Steve Baker had a very long pit stop. I'm hearing tell that he had a double pit stop. That's a problem with iRacing every now and again. And Steve Baker bit by that as he was in for 4 seconds longer than the race leaders ahead of him.
That is going to drop him all the way down into 7th spot. A little bit of confusion there, and unfortunately something that bit this driver, and it was outside of his control. What do you do in that situation when you see you got 2 pit stalls and you pick one of the 2 and it's not the right one?
There's only one thing to do, and that's sit back, take a big breath. You know you're fast because you've been up front all night, so you got to try and catch those positions again as the pace car lights go off, KR.
All right, so this restart just after the halfway point. Here we go. Row number 1, Will Dravicki, Chris Stump. Row 2 for this will be the 99 of Justin Rigsby and AJ Hamill. Who's it gonna be? Dravicki picking the outside lane once again. Can go anytime he chooses. There he goes right before the green flag flies. And Dravicki clearing Stump easily, trying to get as big a gap as he can. In our first part of the race, Will Dravicki was faster on these fresh tires. We'll see if he can pull away and gap the field once again. However, Stump was faster on the long run. Well, this race could shape up into any number of situations. Nobody go anywhere, stay right here. This race is going under caution. believe the 39 of Chad Collier may be having an issue. He has hit pit road. Gonna back this up, see if he was the one that went around here or not. Chad pulls it onto, I don't know what that was. Not 100% sure.
I'm just looking at it again, KR, and remember I said at the top of the show here, pit road here is tricky because you have two openings in the fence on the backstretch. You have to take the second one. I think iRacing saw him pick the first one that dinged the caution, and that's where we're at here with Chad Collier in the pit road.
I actually think found it, and it was Hilton Young and Doug Wysocki coming off the corner, with Doug Wysocki the big loser in that situation, as he's gonna get turned. But that happened so quick that I was unable to track it, and I'm not sure what happened with Chad Collier, but he is pushed that thing behind the wall.
Well, that was a quick one, wasn't it? He hit the wall, came off the wall, and right back into the right way on the track. Very quick caution. You don't often see that here in iRacing.
Nope. All right, lap 71 of 125, back under caution. This is Myrtle Beach for the North Carolina Troopers Association 125. Have had 5 cautions. One of those was a competition caution. Whew, I'll tell you, this race, as it winds down, is starting to get a little intense. I can feel the intensity picking up from here. And I'm not even driving. I want to be out there. I want to get my elbows up and go, okay, this race is about to end. I need to start making the moves if I got anything in my car left.
Well, I saw somebody making some moves, and it's a 96 car, Al Smith. Smith had a heck of a run on that outside, propelled him to 4th place. Meanwhile, AJ Hamill is sitting in 3rd after that last caution. So these guys are moving up a little closer to the front. It's somebody to keep an eye on. That 18 car, AJ Hamill, I'm telling you, he can get away on these short tracks. He's got Stump and Trevicki and proven winners here and racing for a cause just ahead of him.
All right, we're going to go on board with Al Smith in the 96 for this restart. Here we go. Will Dravicki in the 30. Control car for this restart. Pulls away. Green flag is out. We're back underway here. Chris Stump on the inside of Al Smith. Al going to go up into that 3rd lane. Stump going to wash up a little bit, but gets the throttle down. Now Al Smith looking to his inside, but unable to make it stick as Chris Stump drives in very, very deep.
Al Smith had found an opening, just wasn't able to take advantage, and Stump was able to close the door. Right now, look at AJ Hamill. He is under attack. He's got Rex Hoyle right behind him, followed by Justin Rigsby. We're under caution.
Another yellow out once again. The 70 of Andy Lambert and the 22 of Mike Holtzclaw getting crossed up here. We'll go to our MaxSpeedTV replay. Andy Lambert in the 70 machine and Mike Holtzclaw look like they just make a little bit of contact coming off of turn number 2. Not sure how that happened, so we're going to slow this down a little bit. See Andy Lambert in the 70 on the inside. Think maybe he might have caught a turtle shell there, and he does just a little bit, but man, Mike Holtzclaw running him tight as they come up off the corner. All right, guys, we're going to step away for just a quick moment. We'll be right back after this. All right, folks, we're back to field formed up. Once again, Will Dravicki, who has led every lap so far tonight, lead car of this restart. He's chosen the inside lane this time. Chris Stump on the outside. Here we go for our restart. And Will Dravicki on the loud pedal. Green flag is out. We're back underway here at Myrtle Beach. Side by side they go between Al Smith and AJ Hamill. Hamill on the outside in the 18 machine trying to make it work. He has been working his way to the front slowly but surely. And Hamill now is in that spot. Put AJ Hamill into third. That 18 machine looking more and more like he is going to be able to pull off a birthday win, maybe even a birthday podium, if not a win. Al Smith in the 96 losing some ground to the 99 of Justin Rigsby. Rigsby is slotting into fourth here. Now Rigsby looking to the inside of Hamill as Rex Hoyle and Al Smith are going to make contact. They're going to go around here and get crossed up coming off of turn number 2. So a big accident between these two. Rex Hoyle in the 50 machine, Al Smith in the 96. Very minor contact, but just enough to send them both around. And Chris, we're back under yellow here just like that.
Yeah, and like you said, very light contact, and certainly Al Smith took the lesser of the two cars' damage, but both of those cars hurting right now.
Tires are not allowed any time other than the competition caution. The Rex Hoyle coming down pit road. Gonna try and get some of that damage hammered out. Maybe get back out on the track without losing a lap, but such a short time before you lose a lap here that he's not gonna have a lot of time to work on that car.
Yeah, under pacing conditions, you're talking about a 40-second lap time. So like you said, not a lot of time there.
No, not a lot at all. Want to do some quick housekeeping. We do have 4 cars behind the wall out of the race here tonight. 17th place going to the 39 machine of Chad Collier. 18th going to the 51 of Dylan Blankenship. 19th going to the 4 of Wayne McDuff. And 20th will be the 87 of Ryan Nolan, which is the big story as Ryan Nolan came in tied for the points lead here tonight.
Yeah, he came in tied for the points lead, and the other guy to keep an eye on tonight, and he was just involved with that, Rex Hoyle in the 50 machine. He was 3 points behind the leaders in the point standing, so being back in the field, that's going to hurt tonight.
Gonna hurt a lot. Pain. A lot of pain. Why is racing hurt so much? Just racing.
I think it has to. That's part of the allure of the sport.
Yeah. That and crashing into walls is fun.
There is
really.
that part of it.
No, that's no fun. Who am I kidding?
I don't know. Hey, bud. Pace car lights are off. We're getting ready to go back to green here.
Oh, man. Well, I'll tell you what. How about you call this one?
All right, right now the pace car lights are off, as I said, and you've got Dravicki and Stump on the front row, Rigsby and Hamill right behind them in the second row. Pace car just hit Pate Road, so these guys are going to go around 3 and 4. Right now, Dravicki in first place, choosing the outside. He's in control of the whole field. Chris Stump has to lean back just a little bit to see when he goes, and it's gone. Dravicki with a hole shot like I haven't seen here tonight. He has gone and has cleared the whole field by at least 2 car lengths going into 1 and 2. Stump on the inside right now, battling against the 99 of Justin Rigsby as they head into turns 3 and 4. And you see right now behind them the story, Steve Baker, who had fallen back to about 8th position, right now back up to 4th after completing a pass on AJ Hamill.
Ooh, it's the 98 of Stump. Really got loose coming off the corner. It was able to catch it, but he does lose a little bit of ground there, and AJ Hamill losing some ground on his restart as well, not able to capitalize on it.
Yeah, that allowed for the 55 machine of Steve Baker to take control of 3rd place, and Justin Rigsby up to 2nd now. Will Dravicki looking at a black and green car in his rearview mirror. That's something different.
We go on board with Dravicki as we look out the back of this thing. You can see Justin Rigsby in the 99 trying to close the gap. Right behind him is in 3rd place of Steve Baker, and then Chris Stump in that 98 machine looking to regain some lost ground.
A mistake like that, getting that car loose, so hard to recover from, and we're talking about what, 25 and 7, 34 laps to go.
That's a good recovery.
Something like that. Math, don't fail me now, though. I think you did.
Math is hard. That's why I play on the internet.
I don't have my calculator open, so I'm not able to do math right now. I did happen to catch something out of the concession stand, so we're good there.
They were sold out at mine. And by sold out, I mean I forgot to get one.
Oh. Stump is battling back. He went to the outside, took a peek on Steve Baker in the 55, not able to do it, so he got back in line, but Stump is trying to battle back in that 98 car, and the man in front of him, Steve Baker, trying to hold on to 3rd, maybe try and catch Justin Rigsby, the 99 car, who's running 2nd, not able to do it as Stump goes down to the inside, turns 1 and 2. Stump makes a clean pass on Baker. Baker had nothing for him and just falls back in line behind Stump, so Stump up to 3rd. Baker now back in 4th place. Stump looking for more as Rigsby up in front of him and the gap closing.
Stump trying to pour it on now here in the later stages. He was a faster car in that last, towards the end of our first tire run before that competition caution and the drivers were allowed to take tires. Now he knows his laps are starting to wind down and he has got to go for all he is worth. But to get to the lead, he's got to get around 2 cars to do it. I'll tell you, he's going to fight tooth and nail for it as the caution is going to come out, and that is going to reset the field. Andy Lambert and Hilton Young look to have gotten mixed up a little bit here. Andy Lambert still not sorted out as we go and check out our replay here. The 70 of Lambert working his way down the front stretch with Tim Hale and the 00 on his inside. Hale and Lambert gonna make a little bit of contact here. Lambert's gonna go around and then try and get rolling again. Hilton Young not ever touching him, just happened to be in that camera shot. Then Lambert's gonna loop it when he tries to put the power down to straighten it out.
Yeah, and it looks like, unfortunately, he got a little contact with the 3 car of James Edwards at the very end there. So Andy went around, not able to save it, and man, that's tough. He started in 4th place tonight, right now sitting in 13th.
Yeah, Andy Lambert not having the race he was hoping for. Regardless, though, a great qualifying job by him, and showing strides here in this car, as it seems like each week Lambert is able to get faster, but just unable to have the finishes to show it.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate because for the first couple of races of this league, I was in them, right? I was racing with these guys, and Andy was getting faster and faster and faster, but there was always something that got in his way. And back to the, it just like tonight. Now he's relegated to the backside of the field. We've got less than 25 laps to go as we're under caution. And man, it's a heartbreaker to see now down a lap in 15th is Andy Lambert.
League admin or what? He's in charge of the whole Racing for a Cause league now, isn't he? I remember correctly.
He is now, yes.
But doing this offshoot here, Racing for a Cause runs 2 nights a week and 3 nights a week here very shortly. But yeah, Sunday nights we're going to be doing the 360 sprint cars. Tuesday nights starting January 7th will be the RFC Vapor Trail Clothing Truck Series. That's going to be a fun one. And then Wednesday nights, as you all see right here right now, is the Hershey Design Pro Series. They're doing the K&N cars here on some short tracks. Your race leader, Will Dravicki, on his inside will be the 99 of Justin Rigsby. Row 2 will be the 98 of Chris Stump and the 55 of Steve Baker. Here we go once again. Green flag flying, and we are back underway as Will Dravicki in that 30 gonna clear Justin Rigsby, but Rigsby really almost got a nose under him. That was the closest restart I've seen here so far tonight. Rigsby really starting to pour the power on now. Through 1 and 2 they go. Side by side, Chris Stump, Steve Baker. Those two fighting for third. Give it to Baker for the moment. On Stump's outside, the 81 of James McIntyre. Haven't talked about McIntyre all night long. Started 16th. Here he is in 5th place, trying the high side to find a way around Chris Stump. What a charge through the field James McIntyre has had in that 81 machine. So James McIntyre in 5th, but heavy pressure from the 18 of A.J. Hamill. Meanwhile, out front, Will Dravicki with some pressure from the 99 of Justin Rigsby. Dravicki has led every lap so far this race. As this race is winding down, we have 17 laps to go. Man, there's a lot happening here. Gonna try and keep up with it. Paul Henley in the 16 machine. He is sitting solidly in 7th place. Started 20th. Haven't talked about him either. It's been so much going on in this short track. We look at our race progress right here. You can see the 81 has gained 11 spots, but Henley has gained 13 as the caution is gonna come out. Looks like something happened to the 22 of Mike Holtzclaw. We're gonna back this up, figure out what happened to that 22 machine. Mike getting out of shape at corner entry there. Ooh, it's Hilton Young. Comes charging into the corner there. Take one more look at that. Ooh, big contact to the back end of that 22 machine. It's a field under yellow once again. Holtzclaw working on that machine. Looks like he is going to lose a lap here. He waited just a little too long trying to fix it. Pit lane will be closed as the field is going to work its way by. 13 laps to go in the North Carolina Troopers Association 125. If you guys missed it, we had an excellent pre-race interview with Tyler Hilton, who let us know all about this North Carolina Troopers Association race, what it means, what it's about. you get the chance, make sure you go back and check out that interview. While you're doing that, guys, let them know that you love this race, that you are here in support of them. Make sure you give the broadcast a thumbs up, and don't forget, you can say something in YouTube chat. We did have several people piping in. Well, while we were doing the interview with Tyler, several of you guys saying thank you, and we did have one mention his service, so I do appreciate that as well. Big shout out and thank you to you for your services rendered as a civil servant. Call it that. Sounds fancy. I stuck my pinky up while I said that. Hey, that's no joking matter. It's a high calling for sure. So Will Dravicki though in that 30 machine, Justin Rigsby in the 99. Here we go once again. Dravicki getting onto the throttle there, clearing Rigsby. A lot better this time for him, not as good for Rigsby. As Steve Baker's gonna shove the Chris stump up. Oh, heavy contact. Steve Baker in the 55 up and over with AJ Hamill, and Baker gonna land on all 4 tires. Baker's gonna get it sorted out, but man, that was a wild restart for him. Steve Baker washed up a little bit. Chris Stump on his outside. 3 wide it looked like for a moment, and then the 18 of AJ Hamill gonna get into his outside corner. And Baker's gonna go for a wild ride. We go on board with AJ Hamill. So big moment for Steve Baker and AJ Hamill on pit road. Baker was able to land on all 4 tires, get that car sorted out. He has not lost a lap. But man, that 55 machine is definitely a wadded up soda can right now. I mean, I've stomped on pop cans and they looked a lot straighter than that 55 machine. So now, does anyone have anything for Will Dravicki, as we're really getting close to crunch time here? He has led every single lap so far. 7 laps to go. Justin Rigsby in the 99 had 1 great restart, 1 not so great. Can he find a way to get in front of Will for this next restart, which should be our final restart of this race? So he is going to have 1 more time to make this work. How's this going to play out? Will Dravicki pick the high side? Will he pick the inside? Who's going to spin tires? They've been out there on these tires for a while now. Someone could try and get a little over aggressive. Possibly spin the tires. Lights are out on the pace car. We're about to find out. And Chris, man, I don't know if what you missed, but whew, that's the last restart of this race.
It is. I didn't miss much, KR. I had some technical difficulties, hopped on my phone, so I didn't miss much. I know exactly what's going on, and as you said, Will Dravicki up front, Justin Rigsby, he's got to have the restart of a lifetime right now. Chris Stump right behind him, trying to help him out as we get ready to go back green flag racing.
Here we go. Final time. Green flag in the air. Will Dravicki in the 30 going to clear Rigsby as they go into turn number 1. Meanwhile, the battle for third place heavily heated as Paul Henley in the 16 machine on the outside of Chris Stump. Looks like he might be able to make this work, but Stump gonna challenge right back at him off of turn number 4. Chris Stump able to squeeze in front of the 16 of Henley. Now Stump gonna challenge Justin Rigsby in the 99. Stump looks like he has put on some afterburners. That man is charging through the field right now. He's got 2 laps to go. Will Dravicki's trying to outrun this charge. And now Stump gonna lose a little bit of ground off the corner. White flag in the air for Will Dravicki. Final lap, final time around. One more time off of turn number 2. No pressure behind him as Justin Rigsby and Chris Stump are battling for second. Will Dravicki in the 30 machine coming off the corner for the final time. Checkered flag waving. Give the win for the North Carolina Troopers Association. 125 to Will Dravicki as he is going to make it 2 wins on the season. And he is going to step away from this as the clear leader in our point standings. What a Christmas gift for that 30 machine.
Yeah, like you said, that was that's exactly what the doctor ordered tonight for Will Dravicki, who came into this one tied with Ryan Nolan not able to get any laps down before he had to leave this one. And man, that's going to help spread that points out a little bit. Chris Stump with a very big points night tonight as well.
All right, guys, we're going to step away, set up our post-race show. Nobody go anywhere. We'll be right back to talk to our top 3.
To Will, 3, 2. All right, we are back with Will Dravicki, the driver of the number 30 car, your winner here tonight. Got a lot of laps here tonight, Will. It's got to feel pretty good for you here tonight. A great points race for you.
Yeah, before I get into any of that, I just want to say my thank yous to David Cater. Anybody that's an iRacer knows who he was, and he touched many lives, including mine. I could say I'm a direct product of all the work that he put in. He made me the iRacer that I am today. I just want to say thank you to him. This one's for David. Other than that, yeah, man, leading all the laps, being up front, can't complain there. Like it a lot.
You had a couple of different people that were trying to challenge you, and you were able to fend them off. Was there any point in the race where you were like, boy, I don't know if I have the car?
Well, I feel like there was a couple guys that were a little bit faster than me on the long run. We had so many cautions. I started playing cat and mouse with the restarts, trying to see who was gonna line up behind me, see who I could pull through, get those guys racing each other, so I could gap them a little bit and give myself a little bit of a cushion. But overall, it was a great race with the guys up front. I mean, there's a lot of fast guys here. I like Myrtle Beach a lot. This is probably one of my favorite tracks here. I was really looking forward to it. I'm glad to get the win. But yeah, great job to everybody else, Chris and Justin.
All right, bud. Well, again, congratulations on the win. I know you did one thanks, but I'm going to give you the opportunity again. Is there anybody on that car you need to thank tonight?
Yeah, I got to bring attention to Night to Shine. My family here in North Royalton coordinates that. It's it's the worldwide prom for special needs individuals, and you know, it's a really special night for them. It makes it, you know, they look forward to the whole year. Also, I want to thank my boys back at the shop, Paul G and John. Gotta thank my wife for letting me race all the time. And I want to bring attention to the Diabetes Association on the trunk. My oldest son is a type 1 diabetic, and you know, diabetes is no laughing matter.
No, hey man, I have the same issue with my boy, so I know exactly what you're going through. Again, congratulations, driver of the number 30 car, Will Dravicki, for the win tonight.
Thank you very much.
All right, I've caught up with our second place finisher, and that is none other than Chris Stump. Chris, you had a hard charge there throughout the race. It seemed like you were the faster car on older tires, but it just didn't work out for you in the second half of the race. Tell us what was going on out there for you tonight, and what all you think you could have done better.
You're exactly right. I was atrocious on restarts, every single one of them. You know, Will, you know, he was really smart, you know, mixing it up and changing his lanes. But yeah, my restarts were horrible, and it took me a good 10, 15 laps to get into rhythm and to where I could start, you know, rolling on the bottom where guys were starting to get tight. But needed a lot more green flag laps than what we had tonight. But had a lot of fun racing with Justin and Will and Steve and everyone else up front.
That 98 machine had a solid run, consistently out front, just never able to lead a lap. But you missed last week. Come back with a little bit of a vengeance here. Going into the next year and towards the end of this thing, how are you feeling confidence-wise? Are you going to be able to make up that lost ground?
I think just doing what we did tonight, not doing anything stupid, you know, when you fall back, and not try to make up, you know, 5 positions in 5 laps, and just keep the fenders on it, and we'll see how it goes. It's racing, so anything can happen.
I hear you on that one, man. Well, before we let you go, last shout outs, thank yous that you'd like to give.
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to tonight's sponsor, North Carolina Trooper Association. I'm myself former law enforcement, so appreciate what they do for fellow law enforcement and their community. Humanizing the badge, that's who's on my car tonight. Great group, nonprofit that is trying to bridge the gap between community and law enforcement. But want to thank Andy, everyone here at Racing for a Cause. You guys in the booth do a great job. Appreciate it.
All right, that is Chris Stump, driver of the 98 machine, finishing second out here. Congratulations, Chris, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. But now I believe our third place finisher is ready and waiting to talk with Chris.
Yeah, just catching up with the driver of the 99 car, Justin Rigsby. And Justin, that car was pretty darn good tonight. Ended up in third place tonight. Tell me how you got there and how the car felt to you.
Well, I'll tell you, this car was a handful most of the night. I wasn't really finding much speed in practice there until the end. I think it was more so once the track got dark and got some rubber on it, it helped us out. Didn't qualify very well. I think we started back 7th or 8th, but restarts I think helped us more than anything. I do feel like we could have been pretty good on the long run, but we didn't really get that shot. I know starting on the outside was a very good thing tonight, and we'd always jump a couple spots when we did.
So you feel like the outside was the way to go, and certainly, hey, look, third place finish, nothing to sneeze at. What are your thoughts for the rest of the season?
I just keep going for it. We're learning a lot with these cars. Had a bit of a bummer last week, and wrecked half the field. It seemed like on the first lap, just being a little too aggressive, and got together with AJ. Just not enough room there between him and the wall, and that got our confidence down. But we put some practice in this week. Still learning on these cars, braking points, and so forth. Feel like we maybe let one get away tonight, and I know we were quick. Will was great, Chris was great. Just kind of overshot the turn turn one on that last restart there, trying to get a little extra momentum coming out to maybe get a run on wheel. But it was great. We'll just keep working at it and try to learn and finally get a win sooner or later.
Well, you keep finishing in the top 3, and eventually it's going to come to you. So again, congratulations, dude. Is there anybody on that 99 that you need to thank tonight, Justin?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to give a shout out to Attitude Graphics, Matthew Spink's company there. He helps us with this car, with the graphics and stuff on it. He's actually racing with us now, and I think he did all right tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Also just trying to bring some awareness to domestic violence. You know, that's never a good thing, no matter the situation. And I'm not sure we got him on the car this week, but a shout out for water.org as well, just making sure we get water to those who need it, that's not as fortunate as us over here. And also racing for a cause. I mean, there's no other league like it, you know, putting out all these causes, trying to get awareness and you know, get help where it's needed.
Well, certainly there's no league like it, as you said. So congratulations again on your 3rd place finish tonight. Driver of the 99 car, Justin Rigsby, bringing it home 3rd.
Thanks, fellas.
All right, guys. Well, Chris, man, I'll tell you what, tonight's race was absolutely everything we thought it would be. Hard charging, some great laps, and all kinds of other good stuff going on.
Yeah, lots of long green flag laps. You know, we saw our share of cautions. That's short track racing, and that can't be helped sometimes. But on the whole, these guys did what they do every single week. They provided a heck of a lot of entertainment and some really tight racing.
That they did. And guys, don't forget, the next race for the Hershy Design Pro Series will be the Hilton's Crafts and Designs 75 at Rockingham. That is going to be January 2nd at 8:15 p.m. Central. But before we get that, we got to go through our running order, or our finishing order. Whew, we're no longer running, we're finished. And that is going to be Will Dravicki winning this thing, Chris Stump finishing 2nd, Justin Rigsby 3rd. We got to talk to all 3 of our podium finishers. Paul Henley with a great charge through the field. He is going to end up in 16th. And James McIntyre, another great charge through the field. He is going to end up in 5th spot, rounding out your top 5. And 6th will be Tim Hale in the 00. Matthew Spinks finishing 7th. 8th will go to Doug Wysocki in the 45. 9th will be Rex Hoyle in the 50. And Andy Lambert will finish in 10th spot. Chris?
Yeah, after that, we have Hilton Young sitting in 11th. Steve Baker, 12th. Al Smith Jr., 13th. Mike Holtzclaw, 14th. And Adam Hamill finishing 15th. Not the finish he wanted on his birthday. In 16th, we have Edwards, 20th. Nolan, 18th. Dylan Blankenship, 17th. Collier, 19th. McDuff. And finishing it out in 20th, Wayne McDuff.
Well, guys, thank you very much for joining us tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the show as much as we did. Chris, thank you for joining me on this special occasion. And it was a pleasure getting to call a race with you.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, I had a huge blast, and I just saw that my timing scores did not line up with yours. So I apologize for that. I did have a couple wrong there. Nolan was actually last on the field. So got to correct that. And that's because my computer died on me halfway through this here broadcast. But KR, again, I can't thank you enough for having me on board. I love watching some RFC racing. These guys do a great job week in and week out.
That they do. And guys, thank you very much for joining us. Y'all have a good night, and we will catch you either tomorrow night or sometime in January. Have a good night.